Do you know that a single woman once triggered a chain of events that led to one of Benin's greatest wars? Well, here's the story. At this time, the same event proved the power of women in the kingdom of Benin. There lived a lady called Imagweo. She was known as one of the most beautiful and admired women in 15th century in Benin. She was the wife of Chifolia. Imagweo was not just beautiful, she was really respected for her integrity, her intelligence and composure. So much so that her husband Chifolia boasted publicly, even before the council of elders in the palace, that his wife was the most faithful woman in the entire kingdom. But that statement did not sit well with Oba Esigi. Provoked and determined to prove a point, the Oba devised a plan. He sent a palace porter, a cripple called Uke in Edo language, with Kora and agate beads to tempt Imagweo, the wife of Olia. And sadly, she fell. Weeks later, in a public assembly, Olia repeated his bold claim, still unaware of what had happened. Then the Oba called forward the porter, and before the entire council, he confessed that with just a few beats, he had won the heart of Imagweo. That moment broke Olia. It was not just humiliation, it was betrayal and a calculated disgrace. From that day, the Oba began to declare that no woman is worthy of trust, but the damage had already been done. Some tradition says Imagweo took poison out of shame. Others says she was executed by her husband, Chifolia. Either way, a life was lost and a seed of vengeance was planted. Chifolia, who was filled with grief and anger, secretly set a plan in motion. He sent his trusted servant, Agboviulere, to the Ata of Ida, which is Kogi today, warning him that Benin was preparing for war against his kingdom. Then, the same man returned to Benin City and told the Oba that the Ata of Igala was the one advancing towards Benin. This lie ignited a war. What followed in 1515 was the Benin-Ida War. And at that moment, Benin was at risk of humiliation by one of its former territories. But history took a turn because of a woman, the mother of Esigi, Queen Idia. Through strategy, wisdom, and the use of a Mwemwe decoy soldiers crafted to deceive the enemy, Benin turned the tide. The Igala forces were defeated, driven all the way to the banks of the river Niger. Victory was then restored to the Oba. Power was reaffirmed, and Benin expanded its influence even further. Now, here's the deeper truth. A crisis that began because of a woman was also resolved by another woman, Queen Idia. In pre-colonial Benin, women were not just present, they were more powerful forces in shaping history. Behind the rise, the fall, and the victory of kingdoms, there is always a woman. So this story tells us more about love, war, and betrayal. If you learned a thing or two from this episode, don't forget to follow, like, share, and comment for more stories like this.